think that was for me like the hardest part of MMA. But the incentive, I guess, it was like challenging myself to do something even harder in life that I never tried before. You know, it's a grind, man. Like, you have to, like, it's like the amount of repetitions that you have to do on everything, and the amount of toughness that you have to, like, you know, have in order to be a fighter. It's unprecedented. You know, it's like, man, like, we go through a lot. You know, physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Yeah. Who are you currently training with? What gym?
I train at Brazilian Top Team here in San Antonio. We're under the Diego Gamonal. We're the Gamonal fighters. I've been here. It's going to be MMA full training. It's going to be June. It's going to be a year. And I've been doing jiu-jitsu for quite a while, on and off. That was like what I was doing, you know, but I wasn't taking it very serious. I wish I was. But it's just changed my life. It's just changed my perspective about life, about, you know, earning what you have to the next level. You know, I know in wrestling it's like it's different, but you still in many ways you earn your way. Like, I have earned my way to where I am right now. Nobody ever gave me a break and be like, hey, you're gonna be the face of our thing. It's like, no, you earn it. It was like trial and error, you know, and sometimes it was trial by fire. But MMA is just teaching me, like, again, a lot more respect for what we do inside and outside of the cage, you know, and the respect, like, last fight on the UFC with the ladies, man, it was incredible. Like, you know, the amount of toughness and the amount of athleticism and the amount of, like, just everything that both of them showed, you know, it was incredible. I mean, some people call it stupid, but, you know, it just goes to show that, you know, women are almost at the same level that a lot of the men athletes now in 2020. It's amazing.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I've been covering the sport over a decade, maybe more like 12 years, and to be able to see it evolve from where it was when I started covering it to now, I mean, it's really is impressive. The number of women that have taken up the sport, the ability to have an amateur division, which was really helpful as well. So I mean, it's amazing to see where it came from when I first started watching to where it is now with JJ and Welly. I mean, that was kind of the pinnacle of everything. Which I kind of feel bad because a lot of people are only exposed to the UFC stuff, which, you know, there were plenty of great organizations, Invicta being a huge one. You know, watching some of their fights, you know, over the years, they've had some really tremendous fights that I think a lot of people haven't had the opportunity to watch, and I highly recommend anybody. Obviously, if we're inside, go watch some of the old Invictas. You'll be able to see some really great fights, and a good third of the UFC roster is up there too. So, you know, I mean, it's just amazing to be able to see how far we've come, you know, in terms of more than just the fight itself, but the respect that women have gotten in the you know, inside MMA, which was great. I mean, it's great to be able to see that as well. Talking about trial by fire, though, I mean, tell me a little bit about that first fight. I mean, obviously, you know, the first fight's always a little bit nervous, but, you know, tell me a little bit about that. You know, your kind of experience going into it, having to do a weight cut. You know, what was kind of your experience there?
Man, I'm just gonna start by saying it was a battle every day, a battle, because this is not a choreograph, you know, spot. Like, you're about to get in the cage with somebody that don't like you, want to take your money, want to take your lunch money, you know, wants to destroy you, and wants to finish you in the first round. So from that, going from, like, you know, dancing on my entrance to, like, let's go to punches, I was like, Jesus Christ. The experience was amazing. I look back now and I think about it and I'm like, holy Jesus, I was absolutely insane on, you know, taking this fight. But the results were again amazing too, because it just showed me how the fans, family and friends were so supportive towards me, towards my family, towards all the work that I had put in, you know, and given the fact that I was still touring while I was training on my first fight, it's insane. Like, I think about it now and I'm like, what the heck was I thinking, you know? oh man, like, yeah, something out of this world. And I did it for like with the promos and stuff. And then cutting weight was another trip. Like, I never cut weight like that, never in my life. I was very disciplined, I will say that. I was in really good shape the whole entire time at 120. And then my teammates and my coaches were pretty pushed me because they really didn't know if I was gonna have what it takes to be in the ring. If I was gonna have to be punched in the face, to get kicked, to feel pain, you know, for the first time like that. Man, I have a lot of videos from my training, from my first fight, and I watch them. Then when I watched my first fight, I was so pissed at myself because I knew I could have done a lot more, but I was so nervous, and there was at one point in where you want to go forward, but you don't want to get punched in the face, and you're like, damn it, you know, I wish I would have trained more. All in all, it was a great experience. I think once Nandine cut me on the second round, like at the end, was the only time that she took me down. It just like ignited my fuel because she said on the interview that she was going to finish me on the first round, that she was going to KO me or, you know, choke me to get me to finish. And I remember I said in the interview that you guys can watch in NWA that I wasn't going to let her do that because my whole family was there, my son was there, and I wasn't going to let anybody, you know, put me through that. And I don't know, man, it's just being in there, it just showed me how tough you can be, and like when you really want something, you go for it and you do it. Yeah, I didn't win, but I stayed there for 3 rounds, you know, and I wish I would have punched more, I wish I would have kicked more, but you know, now I know what I do. What should I do in my second fight?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, first of all, you're going into this to, you know, in the pros. I mean, you know, traditionally, a lot of people just take amateur fights to go into wanting to fight, and that kind of, you know, takes off the rough edges. Obviously, you know, your first fight doesn't mean as much in terms of it as well. I mean, to have the first fight under your belt just means so much more because you know what to expect. I mean, as much as they prepare you for what to expect, you don't know what to expect. So when you go through that situation, then you kind of know what's going on in terms of that, what your thoughts are when that adrenaline dump happens. You know, kind of knowing what your body goes through as well. So it's very important. That first fight's always important as well. Then you learn a lot from that, and then you build on that. So it'll be interesting to see how your second fight ends up coming.
Can you repeat that again, sorry?
I said it'll be interesting to see how your next fight is. Just showing that you have that experience under your belt.
I think I'm gonna come more. I'm not gonna be as shy. I think I'm gonna be more. I'll definitely be more prepared. I mean, I'm fighting my rhythm now. I'm finding a lot of stuff, you know, about just the fighting in general. I mean, it takes a lot of years to like achieve, you know, form, you know, getting your basics right, you know, it just takes a long time, you know, and this is not like something that you can be like, oh yeah, let me train for 3 days and I'll be good, unless you've been fighting your whole entire life or doing something like that, like some of the guys that did a lot of street fighting, you know, and they just gotten better and better and better throughout the years. I mean, this is some serious stuff, man, and like I said, I'm like more than ever now, I'm like, just realizing that after, you know, being in that, and just like, again, I cannot think about my opponents being more experienced than I am, because most of them are gonna be, because they're younger, they started when they were like 3, 4, or 14, you know, so they have a lot of years under their belt. But again, I have a dog in me, man. Like, I just kind of give up, no matter what, you know, no matter what happened in that cage. And you know, that's something that you can't teach somebody. You either have it or you don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to be able to hear that as well. I mean, yeah, like I said, look forward to it. You know, I'm pretty sure Campbell's got something, you know, in the line for you once, like I said, all the stuff kind of gets over. So it'll be interesting to say the least. Tell the fans where you can, where they can check you out on social media.
They can check me out. They can check me out on Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa 22 at Instagram and Twitter. They can also purchase my. I have this all the time and I mess it up. They can go on thunderrosa.bigcartel.com. They can get all my new merchandise, which I just got my new shipment of shirts. So I will be sending them all this week if they don't shut down the post office. Then they can also watch me on YouTube on YouTube/Thunder Rosa. I have all kinds of blogs in there. I do live streams every Wednesday. I'll be doing one today at 8 o'clock. And I'll be talking about my career as a professional wrestler with my husband. He'll be there too, and we'll be taking all kind of questions. And right now we're working on launching our website, so everything will be in one place for you guys to see. And as soon as that happens, I will be announcing it on all my social media. But for now, you can watch me there, and you can also watch me at NWA Power every Tuesday at 6:05. You can go on YouTube for NWA, and you can watch my old matches from there too.
Yeah, exactly. NWA Power. That's POWERRR. You guys can check that out as well, and you can watch the old episodes there as well. You can kind of catch up, like I said, while we're stuck, kind of stuck in quarantine a little bit here. So definitely check that out as well. It's absolute pleasure. I've always wanted to have an opportunity to talk to you, to Rosa. It's been, just to watch your career, kind of blossom from the pro wrestling world over to the MMA world. It's great to be able to see that as well, and it was great. It's been great to be able to talk to you.
Thank you so much, and like I said, it's just gonna get better and it's gonna get bigger. If it's like I said, in the ring, in the cage, or even outside of the cage, you never know. I love this business, and I'm just so motivated right now, and not even the coronavirus is gonna